bones gets a chewy femur bone. Drawl spoke of her, of Gulnan. And the half-human, he'll have to wait. Drawl had a dire mace. It combines the versatility of the quarterstaff with the striking power of the mace. Marrok the hammer had a recipe of the forge for an ironwood mace. It called for a dire mace and ironwood, though ironwood is hard to come by, at least for a wizard like Lilly. Ironwood is actually a magical substance that can be created from normal wood, but it can only be created by druids. While the resulting ironwood is natural wood in almost every way, it's as strong, heavy, and resistant to fire as steel, and will not burn. This allows druids to fashion wooden plate armor and wooden swords as durable as their normal steel counterparts, yet usable by them as druids take a spiritual oath prohibiting them from using metal arms or armor, including shields. The only druid Lilly knows about in Neverwinter is Nyatar, the elven merchant outside the Cloaktower. She's not sure what he'd want for ironwood, but she can likely guess. Linu had mentioned he wanted to free animals from the Blacklake Zoo. In fact, Linu sounded like she wanted to help. Linu's not sure all that effort would really be worth what might be a very small profit. Maybe. Or likely in the case she has to appease or even bargain with the cleric in curls. Yeah, the Ironwood spell was actually introduced in 3rd edition, obviously to allow druids to alleviate the burden of being prohibited from using metal arms and armor. Otherwise, wooden counterparts and arms suffer a penalty to attack and can actually break, and in armor suffer a penalty to armor class and can actually deteriorate over time, progressively losing points of armor class. But I have to be honest, why introduce this new fantastic material called ironwood at all? Why not just lift the prohibition, which is effectively what they did anyway by introducing the new spell? Banded mail. It could be worth a few coin.
No, I'm carrying far too much useless garbage. Going to have to dump some of this.
Too bad it's not worth its weight in gold. It's finally time to talk to the half-human prisoner. Presumably the missing guard Walters that Gate Captain Ergus mentioned.
He's gone. I know it. Drawl is finally gone. Good riddance. He brought all my old friends down with him. The Sword Coast boys. All dead.
Of course, this is the guard Walters that has gone missing.
Thanks for getting rid of Drawl. He's kept me here for days, just to show me up, I guess. My name is Walters.
Yeah, I think she'd like more details about how he was captured. I am a guard, but I used to run with the Sword Coast boys. They never forgave me for joining the enemy, especially Drawl. Guess he wanted to make an example of me after he changed. I got off lucky, I guess, not like some others. There's still zombies swarming the district, asking Lilly to keep it short. Killing Drawl didn't get rid of them. Yeah, I think she'd like to know more about how he became what we saw. Well, Drawl was always a jerk. He had big plans for the Sword Coast boys becoming a mercenary company, but he was lazy. It was all talk. The only thing that changed was that he became a powerful jerk. He thought he was a lich or something. He was too stupid to see he was just a pawn. Yeah, he was talking about Gulnan. Who helped him? He was bragging non-stop about someone. Yeah, I think the name was Gulnan. I don't know what or who that is. Drawl wouldn't say. Personally, I don't think he really knew. He was just happy to be tough enough to back up his threats for once. I don't know that he'd been in contact with this Gulnan a lot, so there's got to be a link between them around here somewhere. Or I guess she wants to ensure that I'll report back to the Gate Captain. Hoping she'll get some reward for rescuing him. Yeah, she's not interested in his personal story. I'll have to find my way back. Yeah, asking about the Sword Coast boys. Wonder if there's any more of them. Undead. A few weeks ago, I guess, some of the guys tried to convince Drawl to take the gang out of the city to avoid the plague. Drawl made some deal to become whatever it was he became, and the rest of them were killed. Alright. All the old gang gone. I'm just glad Drawl got what he deserved in the end. Or he's not sure if he can make it to the main gates on his own. Well, Lily's certainly not going to escort him. Tell him to make a break for it. I suppose I could try. Pretty weak right now, but I don't have much choice. The banded mail controversy. I just have to talk about this since Lily picked up a suit. Banded mail is described as made of overlapping strips of metal sewn to a backing of leather and chainmail. The strips cover vulnerable areas, and the chain and leather protect the joints and provide freedom of movement. Straps and buckles distribute the weight evenly. Inspector General Black decides to look downstairs, cautiously. Believe it or not, there has been a debate whether banded mail ever existed at all, not only among historians, but players of Dungeons & Dragons as well, which has included banded mail as a type of armor all the way since 1st edition. Lily shouldn't be surprised. It's the crypts beneath the beggar's nest. Inspector General Black decides to look a little more, or rather to have Bones look for her. But his mistress forgets. Wow, okay. They noticed Bones anyway. A weak shadow. Well, they didn't really want to stir anything up, but I think she was just curious what was down here. Alright. Where's that wolf? Yeah, I think she better, it's gonna give the wolf something. Alright, fire beetles. Of course, there's traps. Oh man. Alright. Alright, resistance for the wolf, in case he steps on that trap. Surprised he hasn't gone off yet. What's he doing? Yeah, they're practically stepping on it. Bones' duty is certainly not fulfilled. Lilly stays the beast while she leaves to look at the device. Why Bones can push open a door but not over a handle is beyond her. In the clutches of a corpse, a few gold coins and a bit of parchment. Continual flame and fine traps. Though they certainly didn't help their previous owner much. Off in the distance, Lilly hears the sound of a door opening. Bones' final task is to see what his mistress has just opened, though not without a little help either. Inspector General Black decides to come back later with her holy defender.
You just follow me and stay close.
Alright, back to banded mail. Some claim that banded mail is a type of armor only known in illustrations of the 12th and 13th centuries, and that no suit of mail looking like that in the illustrations has ever been found. They claim that the illustrators who found themselves filling in row after row of tiny circles to represent a warrior's ringmail resorted to drawing only a portion of it, leaving the rest to appear as normal mail. In short, they claim the illustrators were lazy and only drew in half the armor. Lilly grips the folds of her robe and uses the stone. Lily's glad to see sweet little luckless Linu's dignity preserved, dainty nose fully restored and teeth all accounted for, though she looks quite shaken.
I can still feel my death hanging on me, cold and eerie. I am glad to be back in this mortal realm again. Now that I know how it feels, I will struggle even harder to keep you from that fate. May I join you again?
Alright, Lilly taking Linu back after her brush with death. I shall try to breathe life back into you in your quest. Lilly asks the dusty diviner if she's considered buying a helmet in order to better protect her charming set of curls and even more. But apparently she's of a mind with her mistress and dislikes headgear. Well, Lilly can't argue with that. Alright, last remarks about banded mail. And so, some DMs have even chosen to banish banded mail completely from their games, stating that there is no place for mythical armor in a game where the equipment is supposed to simulate reality. Which of course may be countered with a reminder that This is just a game of fantasy, not fact. Case in point, dragons. Lilly touches an eagle's feather to her nose in the shadows, wondering if Gate Captain Ergus is as generous as Captain Thurin.
Hello.
Alright, speaking with Gate Captain Ergus, who apparently has nothing to say that Walters has returned. Lilly goes on to report the patrol guard on the wall, alleging insubordination, desertion, and even attempted bribery. All very serious allegations according to Gate Captain Ergus, and ones into which he promises the Inspector General to look into right away. She had even contemplated implicating Walter somehow out of spite for not having the Office of Academic Affairs recompensed for his rescue, but decided against it. She's just too tired. Inside the Shining Serpent Inn, Lilly gags at the smell of what must be eel pie, almost as bad as the turtle soup from the Golden Apple Inn. On the way to the stair, a man who's drank too much serpent's bet, the house lager, is drooling. Lilly has to concentrate to keep her gag from becoming a retch.